Welcome team, my name's Alice and today you've got a 25-minute push-pull strength workout in partnership with Sudo. You're going to have 4 blocks of work where we're focusing on lower body push for the quads and upper body pull for the tris and bis. So ideally we need 2 sets of weights, heavier for the lower body and medium for the upper. Before we get going, we're going to start off with a warm-up. We've got 1 walkout into some renegade rows. In 3, 2, and 1. Hinging that bottom to the back of the room, walking yourself out into that high plank, squeeze the bottom and tap those hips once and then twice. Good, just taking this time to bring yourself into the workout team, starting to focus and lock that mindset in. Nice, 10 seconds. We're going to go into a back extension. So we're going to be on the tummy, hands to the temples. In 3, 2, and 1. Turning those toes out, hands to temples, navel to spine. We lift the body just off the floor as we squeeze a melon in that mid to lower back. Good, so switching on that back. So we're making sure that the core is locked in before we load the spine with any weights. Ooh, nice. We've got 5 here. We're going into a dynamic pigeon stretch. In 2, 1. Kicking 1 foot through towards opposite wrist, opening out that chest and switching sides. We just want to stay in these movements for maybe 1 to 2 seconds, keeping it nice and fluid. Good, so easing off the side of the hip here. The glute med gets so tight when we cycle and we run a lot. Team, we're going to be flipping onto our back for a glute bridge pulse in 2 and 1. So heels underneath knees, lower back presses down and imprints. We squeeze the bottom to the top, drop just an inch and redrive. Thinking about distributing the weight throughout the whole foot, using the toes, using the midfoot to switch on the booty. Nice, that's 10 seconds team and we're going to be up on the feet. We've got an alternating forward lunge to rotation. That's 3, 2, and 1. Up we come from parallel. Tap the knee to the floor, rotate just the trunk, squeeze the bottom and try and keep the core switched on, nice and active. All right, let's start to pick up the pace just for the last 15 here. Set the tone for the workout. Get yourself excited to train. Nice, last 8. Maybe 1 or 2 more in team. 3, 2, and 1. Okie dokie, we're going to be getting into that first block of work. We're going to be mostly looking at a split position, training the legs. So starting off, we're going to grab just 1 dumbbell and we're going to get the legs warmed up with a little bit of movement prep. We've got a goblet position and we're going to be going from parallel into an alternating reverse lunge, kissing that knee to the floor. Then we come down to the floor in a bear plank. We're going to drag and pull the dumbbell to tap the hip. All right, team, we're starting off in 8. Coming into that goblet position, parallel stance, shoulders wrap, little tap to the floor. In 2, 1. Good, so thinking about creating 2 90-degree angles with those legs. Driving off through the base of the foot and into the heel. Good, so when we get into your supersets, we're going to be looking at a split squat. We're just getting ready for that now. Last few seconds here, then we're down on the floor. In 2, 1. Let's have the dumbbell right underneath the tummy, hands in front of bell, tuck the toes, knees hovering just off the floor if you can. We're going to pull the rib cage right up to the spine. We drag and we pull it to the hip. Shake off those wrists if you need to. We're going in 3, in 2, and 1. Reach through, tap the hip. Try and keep your hips nice and stable. Good, so we're working on that core anti-rotation to rotation, trying to keep the hips stable whilst that upper thoracic naturally wants to twist as we pull. Nice, last 3, 2, and 1. All right, so we're going to be jumping up onto the feet. We're going to grab both of your heavier dumbbells, team, and we're going for a split squat. So we are going to have the right leg forward. We're going to have the left leg back. We're going to twist and screw that back toe into the floor. 90% of the weight is forward in that front leg. We're going to tap the knee to the floor, drive and stand up, and you're welcome to rack however you choose. Ready? That's 3, 2, and 1. Nice. So we're thinking about driving all of the weight through that midfoot of the front leg. At the very top of this movement, for just a second, you should be able to take that back foot off the floor just for a sec. Make sure that weight is distributed correctly. Nice. All right, team, last few seconds here. All right, team, last 3, 2, 1. Switching out those dumbbells, you're just going to grab the lighter set for the upper body. We've got a bent over row. From parallel, wrap the shoulders down and back, break the knees, hinge the bottom to the back of the room. We're going to pull those dumbbells to tap the hips as we squeeze an orange in between those shoulder blades. Ready? 2, and 1. All right, so if you're someone who struggles with your back in this movement, if it feels a little tender, pull that belly button right to the spine like you're being tickled in the tummy. It should help protect the lower back. Nice. All right, maybe 1 or 2 more here, team, and then we're going to go back to that split squat. Into 1. Awesome. So, other leg forward this time. Okay, so remember, we can absolutely go for that racked position if you choose so. We just want to close the elbows, so we're making sure we're engaging with the lats and the core a little bit more. Let's take that left leg forward this time. Right leg back, screw that toe into the floor. Ready? Weight is predominantly forward. We've got a slight hinge over that front leg. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. So today we're really looking at lower body push. At the moment, we're getting into hammies, glutes, and quads, but my gosh, we're going to really burn out those quads today. I promise you that. Saddle up. 10 seconds. Good. Last couple of reps here, team. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Last time on that bent over row. Remembering to roll the shoulders down and back, get those traps away from your ears, long neck. Nice, tummy to spine, shoulders back. We're going in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, so if we have a slightly lower pullback as opposed towards the rib cage on this movement, we'll be able to keep that neck nice and relaxed. And we're looking to get into the lats, just underneath the armpits, your wings, as opposed to the top of the traps here. All right, team, just last couple of reps here. That's 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Okay, popping those dumbbells down. And again, if that lumbar is feeling a little bit tender, just feel free to go for a few rotations whilst you listen up. Okay, so second block, we're going to be really setting fire to those quads. We've got a tempo goblet squat as your movement prep. We're going to have a heavier dumbbell under the chin, legs a little bit wider than the hips. We'll melt for 3. We're going to pause for 1. We're going to explode up for 1. Then staying with that same dumbbell, we're going to go back to your bear plank drag, but this time all of the focus is keeping that body still. All right, we're coming on up. We've got that tempo goblet in 3, in 2, and melting in 1. We've got 3, 2, 1. Pause it, hold, explode. Nice. All right, so we're thinking about driving outwards into the side of the shoe, really tearing those feet apart. Nice, and then remember, every time we add a little bit more time to that muscle, to that lift, we're going to cause more tension on the muscle itself. 3, 2, and 1. All right, coming down to the floor, back to the bear plank drag. If you are struggling with this, feel free to let those knees drop, pulling the rib cage to the spine once again. If you're ready for that knee hover, let's get it. Just a pound coin or so off the floor. 3, 2, and 1. We're dragging through. How still can you stay? Ooh, really challenging that core. Really challenging your hip stability, team. Nice. So this is often a dead giveaway about how stable we truly are and how much we can control our body as it moves dynamically with load. 2 and 1. Okay, so we're going to get into the main block of work now. We're going to perform that tempo squat again, but this time we're going to dual rack. Then the upper body pull. It's an alternating upright row with those lighter dumbbells. We're going to rip your t-shirt off one at a time, and once again we're really zeroing in on those triceps. Team, let's grab those heavier dumbbells. Let's pop them up on the shoulders. Nice. Close those elbows for me. Legs a little bit wider than those hips. Get ready to go. In 2 and 1. Melting 3, 2, 1. Pause. Explode. I did tell you those quads were going to cry today. Just a little. Just a little. Nice. Using that exhale to help you power up to the top. Awesome. Maybe wrapping up just one more rep. That's 3, 2, 1. Flip neck. Quads getting a little bit spicy. Team, into the lighter dumbbell, shoulders wrapped. Squeeze that bottom on like you're holding a piece of paper between your butt cheeks. All right, ripping off that t-shirt. Ready to go. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so with this movement, we want to try our best to keep the torso as still as possible. All of the upper body movements we've been doing today, dynamic, so they've got a little bit of pep in their step, but we want to try and keep the core switched on and the torso still. Nice. All right, last couple of reps here, team. 3, 2, and 1. Nice, going back to the top. Second time through on that racked squat. Couple of things to talk about. Remember, where your eyes go is where your energy follows. If we look down to the floor, look what's going to happen to my upper back. We want to keep those eyes up nice and high, eyes to the horizon, neck lovely and long. Good to go. Okie dokie, dumbbells up for me. Legs just outside of hip width. We're going. 3, 2, and 1. That's 3, 2, 1. Pause. Explode. Good. So we're always remembering to have that little pause at the bottom of the squat. That isometric is going to recruit the most amount of muscle mass, more than any other contraction. Trust me, they are totally worth incorporating into your training. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Okie dokie. Last time on those uprights. Woo, triceps are feeling it. If you want to make these feel a bit spicier, slow down the lowering phase for me. Yeah? So if those dumbbells are a bit light for you today, slow down the lowering. In 3, 2, and 1. We're going to rip. Control that descent. Nice. Don't know why I'm looking at my triceps as if looking at them is going to make them bigger, but you know, doesn't hurt, does it? Good, keep that bottom switched on, squeeze those glutes, navel to spine. Good work, last couple of reps here. Good, that's last 3, 2, and 1. Okay, you're gonna pop one of those away for me and keep the other out. Let's put the heavier dumbbells away. We are gonna be going into some accessories and then we'll use the exact same dumbbell for the finisher. Now, with the accessories, when we do use the dumbbell, your second movement is going to be a kneeling tricep extension, keeping those elbows really tight and driving the dumbbell to the sky. The body weight movement is going to be a fire hydrant pulse. So rib cage up, the knee raises to hip height, and it's about 3 or 4 inches lower and raise. Team, let's start off on the right side of the body. In 2 and 1. Hands under shoulders. We're going to raise that knee to the sky. You're going to try and squeeze your butt really tight as you dip and lower. Now what we're trying to get into here is the glute med on the side of the hip, responsible for helping your body stabilize, keeping your knees tracking over your toes. It's a really important muscle group. That's last 5. Good, last 3, 2, and 1. We're getting into those kneeling triceps, honestly. Triceps for days today. So, rib cage, sew it together, slide it down towards the hips. Hands like a diamond, shine bright like a diamond. We're going to lower it down in 5, and it's just a classic 1-1 tempo. In 2, 1. Lower it down, elbows forward, exhale. Oh, you are so lucky you can't hear what I can hear. This is click central. You can hear my joints singing along whilst we train today. Try and keep those elbows as still as you can. 10 seconds. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice, pop it to the side. And we're going to the other side of those hydrants. Similar to the bear plank again. Rib cage to the ceiling, zip up from the pelvis to the navel. Try and keep your core switched on here. Knee is going up. In 5. Ready? 3. Squeeze that booty. 2 and 1. 3 or 4 inches. That tiny little muscle on the side of the hip, we neglect it so much. It's such an important muscle, especially if you run a lot, if you cycle a lot. Woo! Give that butt a nice big squeeze at the top. Last 10 here. Nice. Good, last 3, 2, and 1. All right, shake it off. We're going back to the top, team. Going back to that right side. Now, if you want to make this even harder, make that pulse even smaller, even more subtle. 10 seconds, rib cage up. Knees gonna raise. 5, tummy lifted. 2, and 1. Then make it even smaller. These tiny little movements, isn't it? That really, really humble us, I find. Try and keep that body as still as possible. These tiny little pulses are going to make all the difference. Nice. Last few seconds here. Stay with me. Stay with me. 2, 1. Oh, sorry. I know that burns. All right. Last time on that tricep extension, team. So once again, rib cage. Really want to send it to the back of the room. Squeeze that bottom, trying to keep that pelvis in that straight, neutral line. Ready to go? That's 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Now, depending on your shoulder mobility, you might even find you need to open those elbows a little bit. That's fine. It's not one rule for all, but do try and keep them tracking as far into parallel as you can. Ooh, this is really burning for me today. Is it for you? Good, last 3, 2, 1. Last time on those, and I'm flipping glad it was the last time. Okay, going on to the left side of those hydrants. Just shows us, doesn't it? We don't need bands, we don't need weights. Just doing this body weight is plenty. Rib cage up, bottom tight. 4, 3. Let's make it even smaller this time, team. And 1. Okay, so if you know me well, you'll know this phrase. Probably bores the heck out of you. Can you squeeze a credit card between your butt cheek on every pulse? Really, really try and get into that booty. Woo! 3, 2, and 1. Oh, all right. right, team, so pat that out for me and listen on up. We're about to go into that finisher. We're going to be using your medium dumbbell, and it's all going to be about volume. We're going to be getting as many reps as possible. If you're using the FIIT tracker, we are tracking reps. So think about a little bit more pace and a little bit more fire. Your first exercise is a goblet alternating forward lunge. From parallel, we're going to step forward, tap the knee to the floor. Second movement on the left side is a power clean. Hinge the bottom to the back of the room, rip and jump that dumbbell to the shoulder, and then add that push press at the top. Those are the first two. We're going in two. We're going in one. Off we go. All right, so a little bit of speed here, a little bit of pep in the step. Good, so we're really thinking about finishing on a high, yeah? Getting as much bang for our buck as possible. Nice work, team. All right, last 10. We're going to be going for that left side. You'll have a very, very quick shakeout. I wouldn't even drop your dumbbell. 3, 2, 1. So second movement, hinge, rip and press. In 2, 1. Hinge, rip it, catch it, dip, punch. And again, hinge, rip, dip, punch. Use that exhale as you drive. Nice work, really good energy, keep that going. It's the end of the workout. We just want to set that body on fire. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very quick shakeout. Quick little dance if you need to. We're going to be going over to the other side. So starting with the lunge, then it'll be the right. Ready? Back to the top, alternating forward lunge. In 2, 1. Let's get it. Reps, 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 team. Imagine you're getting a £10 note for every time you kiss that knee to the floor. Nice. Really good hustle. All right, coming into those last few reps, team. Final push. Good. 3, 2, 1. Do not drop that dumbbell. There's no time. Over to the right side. Hinge, rip, and press. In 2, 1. Nice work. All right, so starting to fantasize about that cool down. Starting to think about how you want to feel at the end. Let's see that energy now. Nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. Go on, last 10. Really use those legs on that push press. Little rest in 2, 1. Team, take your eyes to me. We're going to have a goblet alternating curtsy lunge. So diagonal with that leg, tap the knee to the floor and switch. Second movement, left side full snatch. So we no longer break at the shoulder. We rip up the body and punch. Ready to go? 4, 3, alternating curtsy. In 1, diagonal, tap, step, diagonal, tap, step. A little bit more of that glute med that we just loaded up, yeah? Nice. If you're someone who struggles with this movement, it's all right to take it a little bit slower. That's totally fine. This can be a new one for many. Good, last 5. Maybe one more rep. 2, and 1. Do not drop that dumbbell. We're going into the left side. Hinge, rip up the body. In 2, 1. Left side, snatch. Yes. Good. I like to imagine I'm striking a match up my body. Good job. When that dumbbell gets to the knee, give me a little pop of the hips, a little snap. Oh, it's getting hot in here, team. Keep it going. This is great. Maybe last one. Go on, give it another go. And rest. Nice. Woo! Quick little shakeout. Okay. One more time into those curtsy lunges. Try and keep that weight relatively forward so you can just tap that knee and we're not leaning back into that movement. Ready? 3, 2, curtsies. Good. Remember, £10 note. £10 note? £10 note for every rep you get. Don't hold me to that, okay? It's just a metaphor. It's just a metaphor. Last 10 seconds. No more legs. The whole of the workout. Good. Last 3. Last 2. 1. Do not drop the dumbbell. There's no time. Snatch on the right into. In 1. Hinge. Rip up the body. Okay, so this is it. This is your finale. This is the home straight. We finish on a huge high and we max out those reps. Good work, team. That cool down's coming. Give me that final push. 10. Maybe 1, maybe 2 more. Woo-hoo-hoo! That's 3, 2, 1. Nice work. All right. Let's have a moment. Congratulations. Really good work for getting through. Pop those dumbbells away. Should we have a cool down? Yeah? Sounds about right for me. Okay, so we're going to be lying down and we're going to be stretching your quad on the left. Pull your heel on the left side towards your bottom. Start to slowly walk yourself back and lean. We tilt the pelvis under to face the ceiling. Squeeze the glutes. Ooh. Heart rate. And just hold here. That's 4, 3, 2. Other side, shall we switcheroo? Switcheroo. Sean Connery there. Nice. Walk it back. Tilt that pelvis under. Squeeze your bottom. Open out that chest. Oh, tight. Tight. Team, we're going to go into that static pigeon on the left. In 2, 1. So, trying to have your left heel towards your right hip. We're going to roll the shoulders down and back and open out that chest. Once again, trying to squeeze the bottom on. Keeping the glutes active will allow you to get further into that hip stretch. How are we feeling, team? That was spicy. Let's switch over. Really good work. Coming towards the cool down, those last few moments of the finisher was insane. Really good work for working so hard. All right, team, last 3. We're going into a wrist stretch on all 4s. Into 1. So let's flip the palms to face the body. Let's have the wrists underneath the shoulder girdle. Tuck the toes and just lean back and hold. When we do a lot of pull derivatives, so the upright rows and the renegades, we can get a lot of tension in the forearms that can radiate into the wrists. I want you to lift up out of your shoulders just to intensify and lean a little further back. Nice. Good, just hold it there in that discomfort, team. Awesome, we're going to be going into a tricep stretch on your bottom, so stay on your knees for me. In 2 and 1, facing me. Good, sit down. We're just going to take one elbow. We drive the elbow down the center of the back, lift up, breathe in. Good, and just slightly lean away from it, just creating a little bit more intensity in that stretch. Good, last few seconds here, team. 2 and 1, switching over. Yeah, the triceps, they really got a talking to today, didn't they? Lift up, breathe in. Nice, exhale, try and relax into it. We're going to be finishing off with a standing forward fold. 3, 2 and 1. Nice, so feet in parallel. Let that whole body drape, flop and fold, knees are soft. And I just want you to relax here. Send a really deep breath into that lower rib cage. Big exhale, just let yourself hang, let that whole body reset. Last 3, 2 and 1. Roll yourself up and give yourself a massive round of applause. Really well done, team. Thank you so much for joining this Sudo and Fit workout. Don't forget to look out for all the other workouts that we've got coming, and feel free to bring yourself back to this one. Grab a heavier set of dumbbells, give it another go, but I will see you on the mat next time.